The LPGA Tour returned to Las Vegas for the first time in 5 years. So I guess it was only proper that the first winner of the new Desert Inn International was also a first-time winner on the Women's Pro Tour. You're looking at her. Her name is Maggie Will. She's a 35-year-old from North Carolina. She's at 18 right here over at the DI course, coming down the home stretch, and she wins it by one shot. She picks up the 60 grand. Well, she didn't battle for the championship this trip to town, but three-time former Las Vegas LPGA winner Nancy Lopez is still the biggest gun in the LPGA's arsenal of stars.
Use that solid.
Only 33 years old and already a 3-year veteran of the Women's Golf Hall of Fame, Nancy Lopez has been and continues to be the biggest star in the history of the LPGA Tour. Some might argue that assertion, but not many. She's meant at least as much to the Ladies Pro Tour as Jack Nicklaus has meant to the PGA Tour.
The motivation of winning is still there. I feel like I've reached a lot of goals in my professional career, and I think sometimes I sit there and I say to myself, well, what can I do now? And, you know, you just have to keep going out there and winning, and, you know, that's part of it. The thrill of winning is just great.
Married with 2 children now, Nancy Lopez says that things are definitely different now than back in the 70s when she was in her early 20s. But on balance, she wouldn't change anything.
If anything, I just really don't work as hard on my game as I used to, because when I'm home, I spend a lot of time with my family. And if anything, it might have hurt me in that respect. But I think, too, though, a lot of people have asked me, would you have been more successful not having a family? And I would probably say no, because when you have a family and you have somebody to fall back on and someone that's always there when you win, it's nice to celebrate with them. But I think if you're alone, I probably wouldn't have done as well, because I wouldn't have enjoyed my winning, and I wouldn't have enjoyed myself as much, because there wouldn't have been anybody to share that with.
Back in 1977, the 20-year-old 2-year college golfer was just a little leery about joining the Women's Pro Tour. She saw the life as lonely and hard out on the road. She got over those early doubts, though, and as they say, the rest is history.
As a young player, I did set goals, but never in my whole imagination could I ever think of doing what I've done so far.
When you're sitting at home alone, sometimes you have to pinch yourself every now and then. Hall of Fame, 40 wins as a pro.
Well, I remember when I first came out in 1977, my goal was to win 1 tournament. And in 1978, I won 9. So, you know, I was just flying pretty high at that time, and not really expecting that, of course, of myself. I felt like I was a good player, but I think that at that time I didn't feel I was that good.
Well, she was that good. She was better. She still is. That's about it, folks. But here's a reminder to you Rebel fans. The Rebels play Arkansas Little Rock in Salt Lake City Thursday night at 6 o'clock our time. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.